Hey guys, welcome to 142 North Main Street here in Black River. As always, we're going to start on the outside, we'll make our way into the inside. Here's a 360 view of the neighborhood. I know you're somewhat familiar of the neighborhoods and everything, but I just like to point out the other houses around you and etc. So at least you can see what it would feel like to live here. As always, this is an older house. However, it seems to be in pretty good shape. You know, some things that I just noticed with older houses is nothing's ever straight. Like this roof line here is kind of wonky. I mean, just barely enough for me to notice. You got some peeling paint and some other things that the VA may call out, but nothing crazy so far. Some cracking in the concrete. In my opinion, you know, normal North Country stuff so far. Overall, siding appears to be in pretty good shape. You have a really nice backyard. Foundation-wise, it looks like this right here would be the block foundation, and then maybe here is more than likely like the old stone foundation, just from a visual observation here. So that half, or this actually may be an enclosed porch. Looks like that could be some type of an add-on later on. Here is your service line right here. Service line looks pretty good to me. Obviously, we're always going to have an inspector look at that, but so far, looks promising. Just FYI, they're having an open house on the other one tomorrow, and that one is occupied, required a 24-hour notice. So the other video probably won't get to you until tomorrow. Roof on this looks pretty decent. I do see some of the shingles starting to come up. We've had a lot of bad windstorms this winter and coming into the spring, so it doesn't surprise me. But overall, looks like it's in pretty good shape. Looks like the back half here may be metal, and then obviously the oversized garage is definitely metal. Just FYI, this looks like it was probably some type of barn or carriage house back in the day. Exterior wise, needs a good paint job. I don't know how much you can notice from the video. I'll get up close and personal. You can just see, you know, some cracking and whatnot here as well. But garage doors look like they're in pretty good shape. You can we have quite a bit of wind today too, if you can't notice. There's a better angle of the roof here. So like this overhang looks like it's metal, and then over here shingles. The shingles look like they're in good shape. And this is what I mean. You can just see like some of the old house stuff. Obviously that concrete's probably been there a while. This is definitely a nice selling point though. This yard is huge. I mean, it is oversized for the area. I don't normally see, especially in the village of Black River, I don't normally see a backyard that goes back this far and is this wide. Here is the old garage / barn. You can see old stone foundation here. Back of the house, obviously the deck needs some paint and attention there. Here is the side. All right, moving on. Let's check out the back of the barn. I'll give you a few different angles of this yard. It's nice to see some green grass finally. Okay, so here's the back of the barn. Really, this is pretty straight for it being as old as it is. I'm actually pretty impressed. And then back here is a nice area. I mean, it's nice to have this extra space. It looks like they grill out here, probably have a fire pit. Looks like there's their smoker, and it's nice and private here. All right, so we're gonna go back to the front of the house, and then we'll do an interior tour of the home, and I'm sure they have a garage door opener where we can get those garage doors open, and then we'll go into the garage. Okay. Driveway's in pretty decent shape. you have some normal cracking and wear and tear. But overall, fairly level. All right. Here is the porch. And your view from the porch. So as you walk in, just to give you an idea, you have this enclosed porch. Looks like updated windows here. And this is essentially their mudroom / coat room. And then when you come into the home, it's a nice open concept. And a gorgeous kitchen over there. Really nice, oh, let me change this. Really nice flooring. Living room over here. Looks like they have a big family. And then you can kind of see the open concept here. Nice big island here. I'm a big fan of that. Beautiful kitchen. Looks like at some point somebody definitely put some effort into this kitchen. Oh, okay, this close wrong. And they are soft close cabinets, stainless steel appliances. Here is the back section here. It's kind of like another mudroom area. There's the back door entrance, and then your slider here, laundry room here with some additional storage / shelving. You know, just FYI, and it's not really noticeable, but from the video perspective, there is some unevenness and sloping of the floors here and there. Again, not uncommon for an older house. Better look at the living room. Then we're going to move on to the bathroom here. Big fan of the bathroom. I love this tile. There's your vanity and mirror. And then your tubs right here. And then some additional storage again. I'll just give you a little backup view. Definitely a lot of space on the first floor, and I love how open it is. Really nice wide staircase. Rare to see for an older home. Most of the time I feel like I'm walking up a one of those stair exercise machines in these older houses. Nice hallway. Carpet's in really good shape. Here is just another coat closet. I'm going to turn around and kind of give you a landing view here. All right, here is your first bedroom. Surprised with how windy it is too. Like, I don't hear the wind much at all here. So I would assume the house is pretty decently insulated. Looks like they have electric baseboard heat for these rooms. It's another bedroom. All decent sized rooms as well so far. Closet here. Not a whole lot of closet space for the bedrooms, which is definitely normal for an older style home. You do see some of the age of the house. Like this was probably wallpaper at some point that, you know, somebody painted over. Another bedroom. Closet over here. Again, electric baseboard heat. And then this just keeps on going. Another bedroom. Just FYI, this is like more of an office space. This really, I mean, you could definitely fit like a full-size bed here and it could be a kid's room, but it is smaller and there is no closet here. Here is the upstairs bathroom. Nice bathroom, tile floor. It's your vanity mirror, the toilet, and then you have a tile shower here as well. And then another bedroom. view of the backyard here. And then this room actually has a really good sized closet. You can see they kind of have this set up as an office and a gear room there. I think that concludes our upstairs. Just going to give you one more look at the layout here so you can come to a full understanding. This is probably definitely the biggest room, and it looks like the adults are using this room. This is a good sized room though as well. Only thing about this one is this one does not have a closet, but you could definitely fit one right here where this dresser is. Okay, so the only two things we haven't seen now are the basement and then that garage. Just so you're aware, you definitely can feel a slight temperature change from upstairs and downstairs. Like you have the forced air furnace vents here, then upstairs the electric baseboard. It feels like at this time they're probably just allowing the heat to naturally rise up there, and they're not running the baseboard. It's just my guess. But you can it's enough for me to notice that there's a slight temperature change there, so I figured I'd let you know. Here is another storage nook / pantry area, which is definitely convenient. All right, and here is the basement. Overall, looks like somebody at some point did some work down here because everything looks to be grouted to a certain point. This is, obviously, you can see it's an old stone foundation, but your water heater looks good. Electric water heater, I don't see. The other thing is there's very little signs of any dampness, any water whatsoever at all. This is just a damp spot, but it's not even really wet. Here is your 200 amp panel. You have plenty of space here. It looks like at some point this was obviously updated. And then you can see a lot of the wiring is updated Romex wiring as well. There is your high efficiency air temperature furnace. Furnace looks good. There's your water meter right there with your shut off. So, I mean, overall for an older house, I would say it's in pretty decent shape. Basement, I'd give a high rating to, especially for being as old as it is. The fact that there's no moisture, no water down here is huge. You can see the floors are insulated. So somebody put some time and some effort into this home. I think it's just more or less, obviously it is an older home and it's going to have older house. It's going to have some older house things to it, I'm sure, that are going to come up in an inspection report. But overall, I think it's pretty solid, especially for the age. So the only other thing that I am now looking for is the remote control for the garage, which I am not seeing. So I think we're just going to have to try to open those doors. But this concludes our tour of the inside here. So our one last step is the garage. Okay. If I can't get into the garage, I will I'll attempt to come back and just make an effort to have them open these garage doors because I'm not seeing a remote. My gut feeling is these aren't going to open manually, but I'm going to try anyways. Yep, and they stop. Okay. The only other thing I can do is maybe if there's a side door here. Obviously some makeshift stairs here, but I don't think this opens from this direction either. I think this is sealed shut. Yeah, it's screwed shut. Well, I'm gonna stop the video here. I'm gonna make a phone call to see if I can get into this garage, and then I'll do another video of just the garage. Thanks, guys. I'll be chatting with you soon.